The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is widely regarded as one of the best RPGs of all time, and for good reason. CD Projekt Red created a massive, richly detailed world that feels alive, packed with stories waiting to be uncovered. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter navigating a war-torn land in search of his surrogate daughter, Ciri, all while contending with the ominous threat of the Wild Hunt. The game's open world is split into regions like Velen, Skellige, and Novigrad, each with its own distinct culture, terrain, and atmosphere. From dense forests and murky swamps to bustling cities and windswept islands, every location is teeming with quests, secrets, and breathtaking vistas. The side quests, in particular, are a highlight, often rivaling main storylines in quality and depth. Combat is fast-paced and tactical, requiring players to use a combination of swordplay, magic, called signs, and potions to overcome foes. Monster hunts are especially thrilling, as you study your prey's weaknesses and prepare accordingly. The narrative is equally compelling, with tough moral choices that have real consequences, ensuring no two playthroughs are exactly alike. The writing and character development are unmatched, with every interaction feeling meaningful. Characters like Yennefer, Triss, and Dandelion are memorable, and the relationship between Geralt and Ciri is the heart of the story. Combined with stunning visuals, a haunting soundtrack, and countless hours of content, The Witcher 3 is a game that redefines what an RPG can be. Red Dead Redemption 2. Few games can claim to be as ambitious and immersive as Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar's magnum opus transports players to the dying days of the Wild West, where you step into the boots of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw grappling with loyalty, morality, and survival. The narrative is both epic and deeply personal, weaving themes of redemption, betrayal, and the inevitable march of progress. The game's open world is nothing short of a masterpiece. From snow-covered peaks to sprawling grasslands, every inch of the map feels alive and meticulously crafted. Animals roam the wilderness, townsfolk go about their daily lives, and dynamic events ensure that no two playthroughs are the same. Arthur's interactions with the world feel natural and immersive, whether he's bonding with his horse, hunting game, or engaging in tense shootouts. Combat is slower and more methodical than most games, reflecting the time period. Gunfights are visceral, with weighty animations and satisfying mechanics that make every shot count. The story missions are incredibly varied, ranging from high-stakes train robberies to quiet moments of reflection. And then there's the camp, where Arthur's relationships with the Van der Linde gang evolve, adding layers of depth to the story. The sheer attention to detail is staggering. NPCs remember your actions, horses require care, and even Arthur's beard grows over time. These small touches, combined with the game's rich narrative and stunning visuals, make Red Dead Redemption 2 one of the greatest games ever made. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is a masterpiece of storytelling and spectacle, wrapping up Nathan Drake's saga with an emotional and action-packed adventure. Developed by Naughty Dog, the game takes players on a globe-trotting journey as Nathan is pulled out of retirement by his long-lost brother, Sam, to search for the legendary pirate utopia of Libertalia. The visuals are breathtaking, even by today's standards. Every location from the lush jungles of Madagascar to the sun-drenched ruins of a pirate city is rendered with incredible detail. Naughty Dog's attention to environmental storytelling is unparalleled, with every scene packed with little details that add to the immersion. Gameplay is a seamless blend of exploration, puzzle solving, and cinematic action. The grappling hook adds a new dimension to traversal, allowing for thrilling platforming sequences. Gunfights feel intense and dynamic, thanks to smarter AI and the ability to use the environment for cover. However, it's the quieter moments like conversations with Elena or Nathan reminiscing in his attic that truly shine, grounding the characters in a way that makes their journey deeply personal. The narrative is a perfect mix of high-stakes adventure and heartfelt emotion. It delves into themes of family, loyalty, and the cost of obsession, making it more than just an action game. Uncharted 4 is a fitting end to Nathan Drake's story, delivering a cinematic experience that feels like playing through a blockbuster movie. Batman: Arkham Knight. The Batman Arkham series set the gold standard for superhero games, and Arkham Knight is the crowning jewel of the trilogy. Developed by Rocksteady Studios, it takes everything that made the previous games great: fluid combat, gripping storytelling, and an atmospheric open world, and amplifies it to a new level. In Arkham Knight, you play as a seasoned Batman facing a dire threat. Scarecrow has united Gotham's rogues, and the mysterious Arkham Knight is gunning for the Dark Knight with lethal precision. Gotham City is massive and beautifully detailed, with rain-soaked streets and neon lights creating a brooding, almost cinematic atmosphere. The Batmobile makes its debut as both a mode of transportation and a combat-ready tank, allowing for thrilling chases and intense battles. While some fans found its frequent use divisive, it's undeniably a technological marvel and feels like a natural extension of Batman's arsenal. Combat is as satisfying as ever, with the free-flow system refined to perfection. The addition of multi-fear takedowns and dual-play combat where you team up with characters like Nightwing and Robin keeps the fights fresh and dynamic. The story is darker and more psychological than its predecessors, delving deep into Bruce Wayne Wayne's psyche and exploring the cost of his crusade. The voice acting, particularly from Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker, is phenomenal, bringing the characters to life in a way few games can. The game also boasts a wealth of side content, from the Riddler's elaborate challenges to tracking down Gotham's most infamous criminals. Arkham Knight isn't just a game, it's a love letter to Batman fans. Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar Games' Grand Theft Auto 5 is an undisputed masterpiece that has remained relevant for over a decade. Set in the sprawling city of Los Santos and the surrounding Blaine County, the game offers one of the most detailed open worlds ever created. From the glitzy high-rises of Vinewood to the dusty trails of the countryside, every inch of the map feels alive, packed with activities, hidden secrets, and dynamic events. The story follows three protagonists: Michael, a retired bank robber; Franklin, a street-smart hustler; and Trevor, a psychotic wildcard. Switching between their perspectives adds a unique layer to the storytelling, offering different angles on missions and showcasing their intertwined lives. The heists are the centerpiece of the narrative, with each one allowing for player choice in planning and execution. The level of freedom in GTA 5 is unmatched. Whether you're customizing cars, trading stocks, or simply causing chaos with a rocket launcher, the game gives you endless ways to have fun. And that's before you even touch GTA Online, which adds multiplayer mayhem with constant updates and new content. It's no surprise this game has sold over 180 million copies. GTA 5 is the gold standard for open-world gaming. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a shining example of how to do a sequel right. Building on the foundation of the 2013 reboot, this game takes Lara Croft's story to new heights both literally and figuratively. This time, Lara ventures into the snowy wilderness of Siberia in search of the fabled city of Kitej. The narrative explores her growing obsession with uncovering the truth behind myths, adding depth to her character while maintaining the high-stakes action fans love. The game strikes a perfect balance between combat, exploration, and puzzle solving. The tombs, in particular, are a highlight, with intricate designs and clever challenges that reward players who take the time to explore. The crafting system adds another layer of depth, allowing you to create makeshift explosives, upgrade weapons, and even fashion new outfits with gameplay perks. The visuals are jaw-dropping. From the frosty mountain peaks to the eerie glow of ancient ruins, the dynamic weather and lighting effects make every environment feel immersive and alive. Add to that the fluid animations and tight controls, and Rise of the Tomb Raider becomes a must-play for fans of action-adventure games. God of War. When God of War returned in 2018, it wasn't just a sequel, it was a reinvention. The game introduces a more mature, layered Kratos, now living in the Norse realms and raising his son Atreus. This father-son dynamic drives the story, making it one of the most emotionally resonant narratives in gaming history. As Kratos grapples with his violent past and struggles to be a better father, players are taken on an epic journey filled with gods, monsters, and unforgettable battles. The combat is nothing short of revolutionary. Kratos' new weapon, the Leviathan Axe, is a joy to wield, with satisfying throws and devastating combos. The game's over-the-shoulder camera keeps the action intimate and intense, whether you're battling Draugr or taking on massive boss fights like the unforgettable dragons. Exploration is another highlight, with the semi-open world of Midgard filled with secrets, puzzles, and lore to uncover. The one-shot camera technique, which keeps the entire game in a single continuous take, is a technical marvel and heightens the immersion. Combine that with stunning visuals, a haunting musical score, and the depth of its characters, and God of War isn't just a game, it's an experience that lingers long after the credits roll. Assassin's Creed Origins took the beloved franchise in a bold new direction, reimagining it as a full-fledged RPG with a massive open world set in ancient Egypt. You play as Bayek, a Medjay and protector of his people, on a journey of revenge and justice that intertwines with the founding of the Assassin Brotherhood. The game's recreation of Egypt is nothing short of breathtaking. From the bustling markets of Alexandria to the towering pyramids of Giza, every location feels alive, brimming with history and detail. Combat underwent a massive overhaul, moving away from counter-heavy mechanics to a more dynamic, skill-based system. You'll wield an array of weapons, from swords and shields to massive warhammers, each with distinct playstyles. Coupled with a loot system and RPG elements like skill trees, Origins gives players more control over how Bayek evolves. And let's not forget Senyu, your loyal eagle companion, who adds a new layer of strategy by scouting ahead and marking enemies. The sheer scale of the game is staggering. The world feels vast and teeming with life, whether it's hippos basking in the Nile or merchants haggling in the streets. The game also dives deep into Egyptian mythology, blending historical accuracy with fantastical elements in side quests and tomb exploration. The result is a game that doesn't just feel like an adventure, it feels like a journey through time. Ryse Son of Rome might be one of the most visually stunning games of its time. Released as a launch title for the Xbox One, it set a benchmark for next-gen graphics, with every detail from the shimmering Roman armor to the sprawling architecture of the Colosseum designed to impress. The game places you in the sandals of Marius Titus, a Roman soldier turned general, seeking vengeance after the brutal murder of his family. The narrative takes you through a blood-soaked journey, blending Roman mythology with grounded historical inspiration. The combat system is where Ryse shines and falters simultaneously. It's cinematic, brutal, and immensely satisfying, with Marius delivering bone-crunching executions in glorious slow motion. However, the mechanics lean heavily on repetitive combos and quick-time events, which, while visually engaging, can lack depth over time. But what the gameplay may lack in variety, the game more than makes up for in sheer spectacle. Battles are epic, with hundreds of soldiers clashing on the screen, catapults raining destruction, and a sound of swords clashing echoing through the battlefield. The attention to detail in the game's environments and character models is mind-blowing, even years later. Each location, whether it's the dense forests of Britannia or the grandeur of Rome itself, is a visual feast. Despite its shortcomings in gameplay variety, Ryse remains a must-play for those who want a cinematic, visually striking experience steeped in Roman drama. Far Cry 5 takes the series' signature open-world chaos to the rural heartland of America, and it's a wild ride from start to finish. The fictional Hope County, Montana, is a sprawling playground filled with forests, rivers, farmlands, and mountain sand. Every inch of it is teeming with things to do. The story centers around the charismatic and chilling Joseph Seed, the leader of a doomsday cult called Eden's Gate. As you liberate regions of the county from his fanatical followers, you uncover the darker side of blind faith and manipulation. Gameplay-wise, Far Cry 5 sticks to what the series does best, giving players the freedom to approach missions however they like. Want to storm a cult outpost guns blazing? Go for it. Prefer a stealthy approach with silenced weapons and takedowns? That works too. You can even call in allies, like the loyal dog Boomer or a fighter pilot with airstrikes, to turn the tide of battle. Vehicles play a big role too, from ATVs and muscle cars to helicopters and planes, making exploration even more exhilarating. The setting and themes are surprisingly bold. The game isn't afraid to tackle controversial topics like religious extremism and survivalist paranoia, all while maintaining the over-the-top action Far Cry is known for. And let's not forget the gorgeous visuals. Hope County feels alive, with its vibrant sunsets, dense forests, and wildlife roaming freely. Whether you're hunting, fishing, or causing mayhem, there's never a dull moment. Battlefield 1. DICE took a bold step with Battlefield 1 by diving into the often overlooked setting of World War I, and it paid off beautifully. The game delivers a gritty, visceral depiction of war that feels grounded in history while still being a blast to play. The single-player War Stories mode is a standout feature, offering short but impactful narratives from different perspectives across the globe, whether you're piloting a tank in France, soaring through the skies as a fighter pilot, or sneaking behind enemy lines in the Arabian desert. Multiplayer, of course, is where Battlefield shines brightest. The large-scale battles, with up to 64 players, feel chaotic yet thrilling. The introduction of Operations mode added a cinematic layer to multiplayer, with players fighting across multiple maps in a tug-of-war-style campaign. Destructible environments bring an added layer of strategy. No cover is truly safe when a well-placed mortar shell can reduce it to rubble. The attention to historical detail is stunning. From the authentic weapon designs to the sounds of artillery and screams in the trenches, Battlefield 1 creates an atmosphere that's both immersive and haunting. The visuals are top tier, with dynamic weather effects like fog and rain adding to the intensity of battles. It's not just a game, it's a tribute to the human stories behind one of history's darkest chapters. Horizon Zero Dawn is the epitome of what a fresh, original IP can achieve. Guerrilla Games stepped away from their FPS roots to create a sprawling, open-world action RPG that feels both unique and unforgettable. You step into the shoes of Aloy, a hunter from a post-apocalyptic world where humans have reverted to tribal societies and robotic creatures dominate the landscape. The juxtaposition of lush nature and futuristic technology creates an aesthetic unlike anything else. The gameplay is equally impressive. Hunting the mechanical beasts isn't just about brute force, it's about strategy, preparation, and precision. Each enemy type, be it the nimble Watcher, the terrifying Thunderjaw, or the soaring Stormbird, requires you to analyze weaknesses, set traps, and adapt your approach. Aloy's arsenal of weapons, like her bow with elemental arrows, tripcasters, and sling bombs, gives you endless ways to experiment. The world is teeming with secrets, from ancient ruins that hint at the downfall of humanity to tribal lore that deepens the mystery of Aloy's origins. The story is gripping, filled with twists and revelations that keep you hooked. Aloy's journey isn't just about survival, it's about uncovering her place in this strange, broken world. And let's talk about the graphics. The lighting, the weather effects, and the intricate designs of the robotic creatures are still jaw-dropping today. Even in 2024, Horizon Zero Dawn remains a benchmark for visual storytelling and gaming. Spider-Man. Insomniac Games delivered what can only be described as the definitive Spider-Man experience. This isn't just a game, it's an interactive love letter to fans of the web-slinger. The open-world recreation of New York City is alive, dynamic, and feels like a character in itself. You'll catch the hustle and bustle of the streets below as you swing between towering skyscrapers, each movement feeling smooth and exhilarating. The web-swinging mechanics are the real star of the show. Every arc, flip, and dive is physics-based, giving you full control over Spider-Man's iconic traversal. But it's not just about swinging. The combat system is fluid, fast-paced, and highly creative, combining acrobatics, web gadgets, and environmental interactions. The way you can yank objects, web enemies to walls, or leap into a crowd with a spinning kick keeps every fight fresh and satisfying. The game balances high-octane action with heartfelt storytelling. Peter Parker's struggle to juggle his personal life, his relationships, and his responsibilities as Spider-Man adds emotional depth to an already action-packed experience. The sheer attention to detail, from pigeons flying across the skyline to subtle Easter eggs referencing Spider-Man's history, this game is packed with love and care. Each suit you unlock isn't just cosmetics, it comes with its own abilities, adding even more variety to the gameplay. And let's not forget the photo mode, which lets you capture stunning shots of New York or your favorite Spidey poses.